Ancient cultures and religions from across the world have always had some concept of subterranean land. The Greek had the underworld, the Nordic Svartalfheim, the Jewish Sheol, the Tibetan Shambhala. The Native Americans believed that the Mandan people came from the underworld. So is it too much to believe that this underground realm really exists? Yes. The first real scientific theory of hollow Earth was proposed by Edmund Halley of comet acclaim in 1692. He said that the Earth might consist of a hollow shell about 500 miles thick with two inner concentric shells and an innermost core. Atmospheres separate these shells, and each has its own magnetic poles. Halley proposed this in order to explain anomalous compass readings. He envisioned the atmosphere as luminous and possibly inhabited. He also speculated that gas escaping this inner core atmosphere caused
Aurora Borealis?
The most famous advocate for Hollow Earth was John Cleve Symons Jr. He was so famous, in fact, he had a statue built in Ohio because of his groundbreaking ideas in Hollow Earth theory. His ideas were that a hollow shell of Earth was 800 miles thick with openings about 1,400 miles across at both poles. These holes later became known as Symons holes. In late 19th century and early 20th century, many writers tried their hand at explaining what Hollow Earth is. Some of these include William Fairfield Warren, William Reed, Ferdinand Ossendowski, George Papashvili, and, of course, Jules Verne in his famous book, Journey to the Center of the Earth, which describes a hollow Earth containing two rotating binary stars named Pluto and Proserpine. This is a definitive list of the objectives of Hollow Earth theory. To prove the Earth is hollow, to completely revise the theory of gravity, to establish that frozen mammoths, woolly rhinos, steppe lions, giant deer, and other animals that have either gone extinct or are mythical exist, to find the inner Earth peoples, the lost 10 tribes of Israel, the lost Viking colony, and the lost Soviet flyers. We expect to prove the Earth is hollow with no molten interior, that volcanoes are caused by the reaction of water with highly reactive deposits of space metals from which the Earth was created, which as the interaction of gravity between the planets, moon, and sun causes the Earth to expand and contract, causing cracks to open up in the previous volcanic crust, allowing water to leak down into these deposits of explosive reactive metals and substances such as phosphorus, sodium, and sulfur. They also hope to prove that the Earth's electromagnetic field is caused by the rotation of Earth's hollow shell around an inner sun, as well as taking readings giving the size and diameter of the North Pole opening, hollow interior, and inner sun. So just mapping it out. In 1829, Olaf and his father Jens Jansen accidentally discovered the North Pole opening to hollow Earth. They lived with the giants found there for 2 years until emerging from the South Pole opening where Jens Jansen drowned. After returning home alone, Olaf was thrown in an insane asylum for 28 years until he emigrated to America and had Willis George Emerson publish his book, The Smoky God. William Morgan was sent to Agartha by the Freemasons by way of a cave system in Kentucky. Upon returning, he recounted the odd effects of gravity and weird weather behaviors underground. He later published a book titled The Mysteries of Freemasonry. Admiral Richard E. Byrd flew his airplane into the hollow Earth North Pole entrance. Here he was faced with flying saucers, which he immediately fired at, but made his way out safely through the South Pole exit. Colonel Billy F. Woodward was taken by aliens to hollow Earth at the age of 12. He returned safely after 6 months. Later in his life, he was working at Area 51. Here he was taken into hollow Earth 4 times for special military missions. This next account of hollow Earth, I'm just going to read verbatim from some bad website. Commander Valiant Thor, head of the Council of the 12 of the hollow interior world of Venus, and commander of a Venusian spaceship 7 miles long and 3 miles tall, told Dr. Frank Stranges that all the planets, including Venus and Earth, are hollow and inhabited within. Dr. Frank Stranges first met Commander Valiant Thor at the Pentagon in 1959. He had been there 3 years after landing in his flying saucer and requesting a policeman to be taken to the Pentagon to meet with the president. He gave the President Eisenhower a book of instruction on how the people of Venus could help our world eliminate all sickness, death, and poverty. After reviewing the book for 1 year, President Eisenhower returned the book to Valiant Thor, saying his advisors told him we could not accept their offer because it would destroy our economy. Hollow Earth is going to destroy our economy. In 1937, a dispatch of Soviet flyers on a flight across the Arctic from Moscow to Alaska accidentally flew through the North Polar opening and never returned. Lastly, according to the ancient astronaut writer Peter Colosimo, a robot was seen entering a tunnel below a monastery in Mongolia. This later was attributed to UFOs and other spacecrafts existing in Hollow Earth. One of the many flaws and holes in the Hollow Earth theory is, of course, the Schiehallion experiment. In 1735, Pierre Boger and Charles Marie de la Condamine chartered an expedition from France to a volcano in Ecuador. They arrived at the volcano and conducted a vertical deflection experiment at 2 different altitudes to determine how local mass anomalies affected gravitational pull. Over 10 years later, Boger released a paper that commented that his results had at least falsified the Hollow Earth theory. Then later, in 1772, Neville Maskelyne proposed to repeat the same experiment. He did, and he found that the experiment completely disproved Hollow Earth theory.
Now feel the wind blow outside my door. Means I'm leaving my woman at home. Tuesday's gone with the wind. my blues away. Yeah. Today, you see, she had to be free.